grew up with a Game Boy Advance glued to your hands, you already know the console had some of the most beautiful platformers ever squeezed onto a tiny screen. Today, we're jumping into 15 stunning GBA platformers you absolutely need to play right now. Make sure to like and subscribe so the algorithm doesn't send us to the Shadow Realm. Let's dive in. Wario Land 4, 2001. Wario Land 4 feels like controlled chaos wrapped in bright colors, chunky sprites, and some of the catchiest music ever made for the GBA. The game follows Wario as he dives into a mysterious golden pyramid, and the whole thing plays like a treasure hunt mixed with a platforming sprint. Everything here looks bold and expressive. The animation is smooth in a way that stands out from many early GBA games. The controls are simple but punchy. Wario charges, jumps, smashes blocks, and transforms after taking damage from weird enemies. Some transformations feel amazing, like rolling downhill at full speed, and others are a little annoying, like when you're turned into a puffed-up balloon and float around slower than a lazy bee. But these quirks give the game personality. The soundtrack ranges from funky jazz to spooky ambient loops. Sometimes it gets a bit goofy, but that's all part of Wario's charm. The game never takes itself too seriously, and that helps keep the adventure fun, even during tough sections. Play this if you love platformers with attitude. The game feels creative, silly, and satisfying, making it a must-play for anyone who wants a platformer that breaks away from the usual heroic vibe. Sonic Advance, 2001. Sonic Advance arrived early in the GBA's life, and it proved the handheld could handle speed. The premise is classic Sonic: race across colorful zones, defeat robots, and stop Eggman. The visuals are crisp and bright, and the backgrounds feel lively without being distracting. The character sprites are clean and full of personality, and the animations look smooth even when Sonic zooms across the screen. The controls feel natural, with only a few moments where your speed gets you into trouble. Sonic sometimes launches off ramps harder than expected, and you may end up face-planting into a robot. But that's classic Sonic physics. The music is upbeat and cheerful, fitting each zone's theme perfectly. Some tracks loop a little fast, but they're still fun to listen to. The game doesn't have a deep story, but the charm of Sonic and his friends keeps things fun. The boss fights can feel repetitive, yet the overall pacing keeps the excitement strong. Sonic Advance is worth playing because it captures the spirit of 2D Sonic while adding its own GBA flavor. Metroid Fusion, 2002. Metroid Fusion shifts toward a more story-driven experience, and it gives us some of the most polished visuals on the GBA. You follow Samus as she investigates a space station overrun by the X-Parasite. Everything looks glossy and high contrast, with glowing doors, creepy laboratories, and moody corridors. It's a stylish game without needing flashy effects. The controls are tight and responsive. Samus climbs ladders, grabs ledges, fires in all directions, and moves with the confidence of a seasoned bounty hunter. Except when you try to wall jump, that move can feel a little picky, but once you get used to the timing, it feels natural. The game's atmosphere is supported by eerie ambient music that keeps you on edge, especially during scenes involving SAX. Fusion's story is stronger than other entries in the series. Although the text boxes show up a bit too often, still, it builds tension and makes the space station feel alive. The bosses look huge and unsettling, though some do rely on similar attack patterns. The good outweighs the flaws, and Fusion rewards curious players with great secrets and upgrades. Klonoa, Empire of Dreams, 2001. Klonoa brings a charming mix of puzzle platforming and gentle storytelling. You play as Klonoa, who is tasked with clearing dream-based worlds after being accused of having too many dreams. It's a silly setup, but it works well for the imaginative levels. The game looks soft and colorful, with a pastel palette that makes everything feel light and welcoming. The controls are smooth, and Klonoa's wind ring mechanic adds variety. You grab enemies and use them as double jump boosters. It feels fresh compared to traditional platformers, though sometimes the timing requires precision that might frustrate beginners. The music is peaceful and warm, helping create a calm atmosphere even during tricky puzzles. The story isn't deep, but it delivers heart and whimsy. A few puzzle sections drag on longer than needed, yet the creative level design keeps things interesting. Klonoa is worth playing if you enjoy puzzle platformers with gentle vibes and inventive mechanics. Yoshi's Island, Super Mario Advance 3, 2002. Yoshi's Island on the GBA brings one of Nintendo's most beautiful art styles to a portable screen. Everything looks like it was drawn with crayons and watercolors. You guide Yoshi while carrying baby Mario, rescuing baby Luigi, and navigating charming hand-drawn levels. The animations are adorable, from Yoshi's flutter jump to baby Mario's dramatic crying. The controls feel smooth, though throwing eggs takes a moment to master. The GBA audio compression makes baby Mario's crying sound a bit harsher than it did on the SNES, but the rest of the soundtrack still shines with playful energy. The story remains simple and cute, focusing on teamwork and colorful adventures. Some levels feel slightly harder due to the smaller GBA screen, yet the game remains delightful. Play this if you want a platformer that's comforting, visually stunning, and full of classic Nintendo charm. Castlevania, Harmony of Dissonance, 2002. Harmony of Dissonance is one of the flashiest games on the GBA. You play as Juste Belmont, exploring two overlapping castles while hunting down your missing friend, Liddy. The artist clearly wanted to make sure players could actually see the character sprites on the tiny GBA screen, so Juste glows with a blue aura like he's been dipped in neon paint. It can look a little weird at times, but it absolutely helps with visibility. The environments range from gloomy halls to bright courtyards, and even though some rooms repeat visually, the overall world still feels atmospheric. The controls are responsive, letting you swing your whip, cast flashy spells, and dash around at high speed. The spell fusion system is fun to experiment with, even if some combinations feel way stronger than others. Music in this game is a mixed bag. Some tracks sound great and fit the castle's creepy vibe, while others feel a little too compressed compared to previous Castlevania entries. Still, the mood is strong enough that the soundtrack supports the gothic style. Harmony of Dissonance is worth playing because it offers fast-paced movement, satisfying combat, and one of the most visually energetic Castlevania games on the GBA. It's a little uneven, yet it delivers a strong adventure filled with secrets and stylish magic. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, 2004. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror tries something ambitious by creating a Metroidvania-style world instead of the usual straightforward Kirby stages. You play as one of 4 Kirbys exploring a huge maze-like map, and the mirrored world creates interesting twists in the level themes. The visuals are bright and cheerful, using vibrant colors that make every area feel friendly even when the enemies are trying to bonk you. The controls are simple and floaty, like most Kirby games. Copy abilities keep things exciting, especially when you discover new rooms by breaking walls or flying into secret paths. The AI partners sometimes take a little nap mentally and wander off, but at least they help you fight when they're paying attention. The music is upbeat and bouncy, though a few tracks loop quickly. The story focuses on restoring the mirror world, but it stays light and doesn't interrupt gameplay. Some backtracking can feel confusing because of the maze structure, yet the freedom to explore gives the game a refreshing identity. Astro Boy Omega Factor, 2003. Astro Boy Omega Factor mixes platforming with beat-em-up action, giving players a game full of energy. You control Astro Boy as he battles robots, flies through futuristic cities, and uncovers a layered mystery involving time travel. The story pulls from Osamu Tezuka's broader universe, adding cameos from other characters and creating a surprisingly deep narrative. The visuals are sharp for the GBA, using bright colors and smooth effects to bring Astro's powers to life. The sprite animations look fluid, especially during punching combos, laser blasts, and flight sequences. Controls are tight, though some flying levels can feel fast enough to catch you off guard. The combat never feels dull thanks to the different moves you unlock as you improve Astro's stats. The soundtrack is lively and action-packed, helping boost the intensity of each mission. Some enemy swarms can get overwhelming, yet the game balances difficulty with fair checkpoints. The story stands out because it connects emotional beats with thrilling action. Astro Boy Omega Factor is a must-play for anyone who wants a game with heart, challenge, and polished combat. Sonic Advance 2, 2002. Sonic Advance 2 takes the speed of the first game and pushes it even further. This time, the levels are built to encourage momentum, so Sonic and the other characters feel faster than ever. The art direction keeps the bright, clean look of the first game, with large loops, colorful backgrounds, and charming animations. The controls feel responsive, but the extra speed means you sometimes zoom into danger before you can react. It's funny the first few times, but it becomes a pattern you pay attention to. The music is catchy and energetic, matching the fast-paced style. The story centers on saving Cream the Rabbit from Eggman, but you mostly play for the thrill of fast stages and big set pieces. Boss fights involve constant running, which feels new and exciting, though the difficulty can spike unexpectedly. Sonic Advance 2 is worth playing because it delivers fast, colorful fun that feels exciting even after multiple runs. Metroid Zero Mission, 2004. Metroid Zero Mission retells Samus Aran's original adventure on planet Zebes with modernized gameplay and polished visuals. The environments look detailed and atmospheric, from fiery caverns to alien ruins. The world feels mysterious without being dark, and the sprite animations make Samus look powerful and agile. The controls are smooth, letting you wall jump, aim freely, and move with precision. Zero Mission's pacing is excellent, although beginners might find some escape sequences a little stressful. The music blends classic Metroid themes with cleaner GBA recordings, giving the world a familiar but modern feel. The story expands the original events with new scenes and a stealth section that adds variety. Some players love the sneaking part, while others find it slow, but it definitely makes the ending more dramatic. Play Zero Mission because it offers a beautifully crafted Metroid experience that respects the classic while improving every aspect of it. Castlevania Aria of Sorrow, 2003. Aria of Sorrow is one of the best games on the GBA. You play as Soma Cruz, a seemingly normal teenager who gets pulled into Dracula's castle in the future. The modern twist of the setting feels fresh, and the art design makes the castle look both traditional and new. Sprites are detailed and move with crisp animation. The tactical soul system is the star of the game, letting you absorb enemy abilities and customize your playstyle. Some souls are wildly useful, while others feel more like collectibles, but the variety keeps you experimenting. Controls are tight and make platforming and combat feel reliable. The music is atmospheric and melodic, with tracks that stick with you long after you stop playing. A few areas use similar color palettes, but the map offers enough variety to keep exploration fun. The story is more engaging than most Castlevania games, with twists that give Soma depth. Its smooth gameplay, memorable music, and a clever ability system make it into one of the strongest portable Castlevania experiences ever made. Ninja 5-0, 2003. Ninja 5-0 might sound like a joke title, but the game is shockingly good. You play as Joe Osugi, a ninja who also happens to be part of a special police unit. The story feels like an action movie from the early 2000s, packed with hostage rescues, masked villains, and dramatic missions. The visuals use bold colors and clean pixel art, helping the characters stand out during fast-paced scenes. The controls are snappy, giving you a combination of ninja agility and grappling hook movement. Swinging around levels feels smooth, although getting the timing right during heated moments can be tricky. The music leans into high-energy action themes, keeping the tension strong throughout each stage. The difficulty ramps up quickly, and the game can be tough for newcomers. Enemy bullets come fast, and bosses demand patience. Still, the gameplay loop is rewarding once you get the hang of the movement and combat. Ninja 5-0 is absolutely worth playing because its mix of platforming, action, and grappling mechanics makes it feel unique and satisfying. Shaman King Master of Spirits 2, 2005. Master of Spirits 2 takes the Shaman King anime universe and turns it into a platformer with RPG-inspired progression. You play as Yo Asakura, exploring dungeons, collecting new abilities, and using guardian spirits to help you fight enemies. The visuals look clean and colorful, carrying the anime style without overcomplicating the screen. Controls feel smooth, especially when switching between spirit powers. Some moves take a moment to activate, and the jumping can feel a tiny bit floaty, but overall the game plays well. The soundtrack offers catchy themes that suit the mystical atmosphere, though a few tracks repeat often if you're exploring slowly. The story ties loosely to the anime, focusing on Yo's journey through dangerous areas filled with corrupted spirits. Some levels feel a bit long, but the steady flow of new abilities keeps the experience interesting. Master of Spirits 2 is worth playing because it blends platforming and adventure elements while adding a fun strategic layer through its spirit system. Lady Sia, 2001. Lady Sia is a colorful fantasy platformer starring a warrior princess who travels across magical kingdoms to stop an invading race called the Tsoas. The story feels like a mix of fairy tale and cartoon action, keeping things lighthearted while still giving you reasons to keep moving forward. The visuals are bright and hand-sketched, giving the environments a storybook look. Controls are generally responsive, with Lady Sia using her sword, acrobatics, and special attacks. The combat system tries to introduce combos, though they don't always register consistently. The platforming feels fun, but some jumps are harder than they look because of odd hitboxes. The music brings a cheerful fantasy mood, and even though it's not the most varied soundtrack, it supports the setting well. The game can surprise you with sudden difficulty spikes, especially when enemies swarm you. A few levels require trial and error, but the charm of the world keeps you invested. Lady Sia is a creative and whimsical game with personality, even if it can be a little rough around the edges. Drill Dozer, 2005. Drill Dozer stands out immediately because of its unique premise. You control Jill, a pink-haired thief who pilots a powered drill suit. Most platformers make you jump on enemies or swing weapons, but here your drill is your main tool for movement, combat, and puzzles. The visuals pop with bright colors and thick outlines, making everything look bold and easy to follow. The controls take a moment to understand, because they rely heavily on using the drill in both directions. Once you get comfortable, the gameplay becomes smooth and very satisfying. The vibration feature on the original cartridge added a fun, tactile layer, though it's obviously not available on all versions now. The music is upbeat and catchy, matching the confident personality of the game. The story follows Jill as she recovers a stolen treasure from a group of villains. It's simple but fun, helped by expressive character portraits that give each moment personality. Some puzzle sections can feel a bit slow, but they make clever use of the drill mechanics. Drill Dozer is absolutely worth playing because it's creative, charming, and packed with fresh ideas that still feel fun today. Marvelous verdict. Thanks for watching this tour through 15 gorgeous GBA platformers worth playing right now. These games show how much creativity developers packed into that tiny handheld screen. If you enjoyed the video, hit like and subscribe so you won't miss future deep dives, retrospectives, and gaming discoveries. See you in the next one.